The crown prince was just drifting off to sleep on the cold palace floor when the faint sound of footsteps reached his ears. With lightning speed, he gathered his bedding and tossed it onto the bed. In a blur of motion, he shed his outer robes and dove under the covers next to Princess Jingfei. Jingfei, completely unprepared for this intrusion, began shoving him with all her might. This frantic wrestling match was still underway when the handmaidens entered the chamber. "Your highnesses, it is dawn," their voices echoed. The prince sat up instantly, yawning loudly as if the night's exertions had left him utterly exhausted. Jingfei, meanwhile, ignored him entirely, acting as if he didn't even exist. To the outside world, they were a blissful newlywed couple. In reality, they had spent their wedding night practicing swordsmanship. The prince lived in constant fear that if anyone discovered he slept on the floor out of sheer terror of his wife, he would become the laughingstock of the kingdom. This entire charade was staged solely to save his reputation. Suddenly, a cunning maidservant barged in. Without waiting for permission, she boldly offered to do the princess's makeup every day. Jingfei replied bluntly, "Absolutely not. I can manage on my own." She couldn't stand the sight of the woman. The maid's face fell, but she quickly pivoted, revealing an embroidered cloth depicting a pair of lovers. Out of pure formality, the princess offered a stiff compliment. The maid then began boasting about her supposed closeness to the prince while showering Jingfei with hollow, exaggerated flattery. When Jingfei's patience finally snapped, she struck back directly. "I need a massive decorative screen. You are to embroider this entire pattern onto it." By assigning her such an arduous task, Jingfei ensured the woman wouldn't be coming around for idle gossip anytime soon. The maid was stunned. She turned to the prince, hoping for support, but was met only with a firm command. "Finish the work first, then come back here." Swallowing her pride, she left, but she secretly vowed to keep appearing before the princess to remind her of her presence, like a rival claiming her territory. The next morning, when the maid returned with another excuse, the prince himself cut her off and reminded her to finish her task. Defeated, she was forced to retreat. Meanwhile, the prince, sore and tired from sleeping on the floor, decided to use a childish tactic to win a spot in the bed. He sent his servant to the princess with a message. "I shall be having dinner with that maidservant tonight." He was certain Jingfei would burn with jealousy and rush to stop him. He began daydreaming of a future where she finally doted on him. However, when the servant returned, his report left the prince reeling. Jingfei's message was, "I had no intention of dining with you anyway. You are free to eat wherever and with whomever you please." The arrow had left the bow. To save face, the prince was forced to drag himself to the maid's quarters for a miserable dinner. He expected to return and find Jingfei fuming or in tears. But when he walked back in, the scene was entirely different. The princess was laughing and enjoying a feast of hot pot with her friends, looking completely unbothered. In that moment, the prince realized he wasn't the one playing the game. He was just a pawn in Jingfei's world.